felt bad for James up here. The last question he got was, who do you like more, Jared or Jensen?
I can ask you that question.
And I'm sure he could have answered like, who do you dislike more? But that's much easier to answer, right? I think like, what's your worst day on Supernatural? I can answer that one. I don't know. You know, it's funny, my last day on Supernatural was like this unbelievable emotional roller coaster for me. My last day of shooting was also the last scene where Castiel, you know, makes his declaration of love and then gets taken away by the empty. It was saying goodbye to a character, it was saying goodbye to the crew and the cast. It was the last scene shot at the end of the night on a Friday after a long week of shooting. And when I was done, I would go home and never come back to the Supernatural set. I didn't know that at the time, because at the time there was a plan for me to come back in the last episode, but COVID shut that down and they had to rewrite that last script. And I got like to an emotional level on that day of shooting that I don't remember getting to on Supernatural. Like, it was really, like, I was feeling all of those feelings. And it was all enmeshed. I was saying goodbye to the cast and the crew, and Cass was saying goodbye to Dean, and I was saying goodbye to Cass. And after working on a character, embodying a character for 12 years, it kind of starts to add up. So it was super intense. And then we all went to our trailers after finishing, and then the first AD said, "Hey, Mish, there's something we wanted to wrap up. One thing we forgot up on set." So we went up into the kind of letter set, and it was like a little surprise goodbye. And they put together like this retrospective video on a big monitor of like Castiel's moments and some of my moments in the last 12 years. And there was a cake. We all say goodbye. And then that night, we were flying to a convention in Vegas, and COVID was just starting, and everybody was like, should we be doing a convention? It wasn't like things weren't shut down yet, but it was starting to get like maybe cuspy. And then we got on a plane, and they had to charter a flight that night because we were shooting so late and had to be there so early in the morning the next day that there was no commercial flights that would get us there in time. So we got on this plane, took off, and we flew for about 20 minutes, and then there was this blinding light and explosion, and then the plane started shaking like this. One of the engines had literally blown up. Like, the metal was like shredded on the engine. And then we had to turn around and do this emergency landing, and as we were coming back in to land, you could see this like 6 fire engines on the tarmac. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're coming down. And as we got into cell reception, low enough for cell reception, all of us were like texting, like, tell the kids I love them, because we didn't know if we were gonna die. So it was like the whole day was just this amazing, like, I actually then also literally basically said goodbye to my kids, because we didn't know if we were gonna survive the landing. I mean, it was plane was not in good shape. We got outside and looked at it, it was like, oh my God, like mangled metal. So that day, it's not really one that I would want to live again, and I'm not into the person. But I also am somebody who likes to chase peak experiences and feel things intensely, and that day checked all the boxes. There you have it.